Anthony Davis here. It's a beautiful Saturday, and in The Alchemist, the epilogue part, page 393, I'll read. The boy reached the small abandoned church just as night was falling. The sycamore was still there in the sacristy, and the stars could still be seen through the half-destroyed roof. He remembered the time he had been there with his sheep. It had been a peaceful night, except for the dream. Now he was not here with his flock, but with a shovel. He sat looking at the sky for a long time. Then he took from his knapsack a bottle of wine and drank some. He remembered the night in the desert, when he had sat with the alchemist as they looked at the stars and drank wine together. He thought of the many roads he had traveled, and of the strange way God had chosen to show him his treasure. If he hadn't believed in the significance of recurrent dreams, he would not have met the gypsy woman, the king, the thief, or, well, a long list. But the path was written in the omens, and there was no way I could go wrong, he said to himself. He fell asleep, and when he awoke, the sun was already high. He began to dig at the base of the sycamore. "You old sorcerer," the boy shouted to the sky. "You knew the whole story. You even left a bit of gold at the monastery, so I could get back to this place, to this church." The monk laughed when he saw me come back in tatters. "Couldn't you have saved me from that?" "No," he heard a voice on the wind say. "If I had told you, you wouldn't have seen the pyramids. They're beautiful, aren't they?" The boy smiled and continued digging. Half an hour later, his shovel hit something solid. An hour later, he had before him a chest of Spanish gold coins. There were also precious stones, gold masks adorned with red and white feathers, and stone statues embedded with jewels. The spoils of a conquest that the country had long ago forgotten, and that some conquistador had failed to tell his children about. The boy took out Urim and Thummim from his bag. He had used the two stones only once, one morning, when he was at a marketplace. His life and his path had always provided him with enough omens. He placed Urim and Thummim in the chest. They were also part of his new treasure, because they were a reminder of the old king whom he will never see again. It's true. Life really is generous to those who pursue their destiny, the boy thought. Then he remembered that he had to get to Tarifa so he could get 1/10 of his treasure to the gypsy woman, as he had promised. Those gypsies are really smart, he thought. Maybe it was because they moved around so much. The wind began to blow again. It was the lavender, the wind that came from Africa. It didn't bring with it the smell of the desert, nor the threat of Moorish invasion. Instead, it brought the scent of a perfume he knew well, and the touch of a kiss that came from far away, slowly, until it rested on his lips. The boy smiled. It was the first time she had done that. "I'm coming, Fatima," he said. The end of that reading. In the book of The Alchemist, it talks about a young boy called Santiago, who's looking for his treasure. He travels from what he loves the most. Remember, he asked for, money from his father to go start a job, like every other, and that was shepherding. That at that time, shepherding was the only thing could have, those people who loved traveling around the world, the shepherds were the ones who were traveling. An equivalent to Masai wetu wa Kenya. Unawapata leo wako Nairobi, kesho kutwa wako wapi wakitafuta nyasi. Imagine now what that boy had. He had a dream, while shepherding or grazing his sheep, that there was gold somewhere, in a chimbo deep in the pyramid. So the boy traveled, did a lot of things. He struggled through it all to understand, to come all the way to find his treasure. So today, I'm telling you a story about myself and the journey I have walked. It is necessary because this journey that I have walked is what has led me to where I am today, to tell you this story and to ask for your vote. The story I'm about to tell you is a story about Anthony and why we are here, where we are today. The most amazing beauty about life is that We all have these amazing stories to tell. And the beauty about public service is you get to serve. While at it, you get to earn. While at it, you get to change people's lives. That is my whole story. So the life I've lived, if you meet someone, they have amazing stories with people. At one time I was working in a company with a friend of mine called Chandiran. He was a guru. He taught me how to meditate on the word of God. He taught me how to see the world in a different way. Some of the things I am going through today, it is because the foundations I had at that particular time, they were amazing. So the series I began on the demand for a sign. As I walk this journey, I have realized, and it has come to my attention, that this moment, all of it, all the experiences I've gone through, was just to bring me to this moment in time. Thank you so much. Walk with me in this journey. I look forward to impacting your life and changing the life that you want.